Welcome to Monday's Ministry Corner. Every ministry has a story, how God has stirred a heart, met a need, and changed lives. We invite you to hear what God is doing in our community and to partner with Him in that work. Join our host, Dr. Pat Paulus, as he introduces this week's ministry.
Well, welcome to Monday's Ministry Corner. Dr. Pat Paulus, your host. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for listening to Joy Radio WRJZ. You know, every week it is our sole function to introduce ministries into our community. God is working. God is working. God is using everyday people, just like you and me, to make a difference in the lives of so many. Today it is a joy and a privilege to introduce a new friend and a new brother, Charlie Jackson of Hand Up Christian Homeless Ministry. It's a 501c3. You can look them up on Facebook, and the pictures there are just incredible of what they're doing. Charlie, welcome to Monday's Ministry Corner.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, every Friday you have a team and you travel across the city from downtown Farragut, and you have a route every Friday. Okay, tell us about that.
On Friday morning we load up, and we have our trucks and a trailer, and we have volunteers, and we load up in at our storage units with all of our food and supplies, toiletries, basic needs, camping supplies, everything they're going to need. And we leave out, and we start in Farragut and work our way across Kingston Pike and over to Clinton Highway, Central Avenue, University Avenue. We try to hit all the wooded areas that the homeless communities are living in.
And it's the same route every week?
Yeah, we will vary a little bit when we find about new people. A lot of the homeless community, they're all familiar with us, and they know where to be, and they tell each other. But if they point out somebody that's new that just got here, we will make sure to go find them.
Wow. Okay, what kind of people are you serving?
Well, a lot of people have it in their head that these are all young people that are into some mischief, but that's not the case. The people that we serve range from, we have veterans who've been in the military and came home and their life has changed. We have elderly people who have lost a partner and don't have that support. We have handicapped people who have struggled and they're out there. We have young people who did not get along with a step-parent and cannot live in the home anymore. So it's such a variety of people. It's not just a drunk or a drug addict.
And what do they need?
Well, our goal, a homeless ministry like us, our primary goal is to introduce you to Jesus Christ first and foremost. Secondly, let's move you toward housing. If you can't get into housing right away, we're going to serve you. We serve you food and all your supplies because we're going to keep you alive and functioning until it is God's time. And we want you to be in housing, but not everybody is able. And our whole goal, like I say, is keeping you alive until God has His plan for you, till it works.
Well, before the program, we were talking in my office, and you mentioned that because Monday's Ministry Corner, we deal with so many ministries, and a lot of them deal with homeless. And so it's just natural to ask a question. Why do we, if we have so many ministries dealing with homeless, why do we still have homeless people? And your answer, I think, was the best I've heard, because more keep coming into our city.
Yeah. In Knoxville, they say we have a couple thousand that are accounted for downtown. A lot of the people we serve will not put their name on any paper. So there is so many more than we know about. And we have Greyhound, which the station is not here anymore, but there's a bench. And Greyhound comes to Knoxville, and they drop off people. And these people were given a bus ticket in another state because they have an idea that we have more resources in Knoxville than they have. So they send their homeless people here, and they get off the bus with a backpack and have no idea where they are or where they're going. And they just are here to walk around.
But they're homeless.
Yeah, they have nothing.
Wow. And then you said, too, after a while, after being homeless for a month or 2 months, then what happens to them?
Well, it's kind of an ugly cycle. They don't know where to go, so they go hang around other people because they feel safe. Because being alone, it works on your psyche. And so they hang around other people. And if they end up downtown, around Cooper Street or wherever, they can get into a cycle of drugs. Because I tell people, if you were homeless and you lived outside and you slept on the ground and you had no heat or air, no refrigeration, you didn't know where your next meal was coming from, and you slept with one eye open because you were scared you were going to be arrested or killed in your sleep, and everybody hated you everywhere you went, and you couldn't take a shower, and you were dirty, and everybody had a bad idea about you, and someone comes along and offers you drugs to help you escape reality for the next 4 hours, you might take it. So if they get into that drug cycle, we just have to work toward getting them out of that.
Yeah. Wow. Let's talk about what you provide. You were with us last week for our ministry lunch, and I was just amazed. You have home cooked meals, and then you have, what do you call the bag with the flashlight and candles and everything?
Every week we have a wonderful home cooked meal, a hot meal that they love. We give them a bag of canned goods, Pop-Top, SpaghettiOs, ravioli, Vienna sausages, beanie weenies, things they can just open up and eat through the week. We give every person toilet paper and wet wipes. We give every person lives for the sweet bag. And the sweet bag has about 15 Little Debbie treats in it. And I know a lot of people think, well, they don't need that, but that's energy, that's calories. And when you sleep on the ground and have nothing in the morning and you can eat a Little Debbie cake, you'll have the energy to get up and go move forward. We also provide them with essentials. We have toothpaste, toothbrushes, everything you'll need to get clean. But also we have, in the wintertime, we have a hot bag. And then the hot bag, this is life-saving essentials. It has 2 fire bricks to help stay warm, hand sanitizer, 8 packs of hand warmers. It has a sterno, a flashlight, and a lighter, and 2 emergency blankets. So that could save your life when the temperatures get bad.
Wow. Where does all this stuff come from?
From me begging all week. I beg on Facebook, and I have the most wonderful donors. They always come through. God puts people in your path, and I have people that support our ministry. Everything we get is a donation. We are not government funded. We get no funding from anyone other than donations. So God shows up every week with what we need.
Wow. Well, one of his names is Jehovah Jireh, God, our provider.
That's it.
Yeah. And about you, how many people do you serve on a weekly basis?
It can vary depending on the weather, if they get out of their tent, if it's pouring down or freezing, but anywhere from 80, 90 to 150 is kind of the range. So a base 120, 150, 160 people.
What does that cost?
In the summertime, I can get by on about $1,000 a week to take care of the people. In the wintertime, it takes about $1,500 to $1,600 with all the warm supplies and the extra things to keep them alive and keep them from getting frostbitten.
Do you see the same people every week, or is it different people?
Yes, we have a lot of the same people. We have new people every week, but we have a lot of the same, and that just brings up a lot of people say, "Well, Charlie, you're enabling them." Well, no one would choose to be homeless for a free plate of spaghetti. That's a silly thing. My thing is, I'm going to serve them every week and not give up, because my time is not God's time. When God is ready, he will move. And so I'm not giving up on them. I'm going to serve them every week until God moves.
Okay, and you said at the beginning the primary goal is to introduce people to Christ. How do you do that?
Well, every time when we're serving, people are like, "Oh, you all are great. Brother Charlie, you're right." No, I am nothing. I'm just the vessel. God supplied all this. This is for his glory. Everything we do is to glorify Jesus. We are not good by nature. I am not good. What I do is the good of Jesus. And I want everybody to know the only reason that we're out there is because of His grace.
Can you pray with people?
Everybody, anybody, anytime we have the opportunity, we pray with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then sometimes people are ready to get off the streets. How do you identify them, and what do you do?
Okay. We wait. When they are ready, people have to hit their low sometimes and realize that I can't take any more. And when they come to you and they tell you, first thing I assess, do we have a drug or an alcohol problem? If we do, I have some wonderful rehabs. And I say, I have to have you agree to this. And I send them to rehab. We sponsor them if they need a sponsor. And when they complete it and come out, that's when we can put them in housing. If they don't have a drug or alcohol problem and they've just had a bad turn of events, our next thing is, let's get your ID. Let's get your birth certificate. Let's get you signed up for food stamps. Let's do what we got to do. And now let's work toward getting you into a place. It's each person is different. It says step by step.
Do you get to talk to them a lot? I mean, do they share a lot, or do they just come and take whatever you have and go?
No, we plant the seed. Homeless people are not going to tell you their details until they trust you. I have been in this since 2016, and I have built a relationship. These people tell me every week, I love you, Charlie. If you didn't show up, we would not make it. We would not have food. And we build a relationship, and they tell you what, and you can see when somebody hits their low and they're crying and they say, I can't do it anymore. That's the day we have to move. We can't give them another week to get a drug and maybe try a little longer.
Wow. Okay. Tell me about your network.
As far as the people that I deal with, or the people I have with me?
Yeah, the people you deal with, the agencies, how do you go about getting all this stuff?
Well, like I say, I have wonderful people in my life that step up. And we supply new shoes. We get donations. My friend Sharon Alley, she owns New Balance Knoxville. She's a wonderful Christian lady. She always helps us. A great, great man of God, Randy Sparks at Sparks Insurance. He always supports our ministry. Anytime we're in need of funding, he steps up without asking him. I have lots of personal friends that come through that always step up. Good friends, Laura Lee, she always comes through. John Stoneburner. I've got people who just step up and they come through every week. I get a little nervous, but God says, why are you nervous? I got this. And that last minute, the money comes in. We never have missed a Friday. We never do not have what we need.
In the Olivet Discourse, Jesus said, if someone's hungry,
feed them.
You feed them.
Clothe them if they're naked.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you're being the hands and feet of Jesus.
That's what we do. And, God does, He shows up, and we've seen the fishes and loaves like you and I talked about. I've been serving and been at the end of the day, and we give away 200 hot chicken sandwiches, and it was our last stop and nobody's there. And I'm like, got a great serve today. We got everybody served. Nothing is left. And my volunteers, they're just awesome. Greg and Al and Andre and Jamie and Leslie and Noreen. We were done, and we opened the cooler, and I said, look, guys, we're out. No chicken sandwiches. It was a perfect count today. We closed the cooler, and this little girl that we serve every week, Hennessy, she comes out of the woods, and she's pitiful looking. And she said, I'm so hungry, Brother Charlie. I said, sweetie, I'm so sorry. I don't have any food. Usually we'll just run by McDonald's and grab something if we don't. But I said, I have some snacks too. I said, look, sweetie, I'm all out. And I opened the cooler lid, and there's 2 chicken sandwiches laying in there. And everybody got gospel bumps. We were just so overtaken.
So the cooler was empty.
Empty. Open the lid, there's 2 chicken sandwiches. I do not know. My volunteers were all just blown away.
Wow.
God shows up. He's still in that business.
Why are you doing this?
Because I'm supposed to. God called me to serve. I've got a servant's heart. I wasted so much of my life having fun doing what Charlie needed to do. I need to serve my Lord. He laid down his life for me, and this is what I do. I love to serve people. I have the servant's heart.
When did you come to the saving knowledge of Christ?
I have always been in church. My grandmother raised me in church. She planted that seed, but I didn't live the way I was supposed to, and I told people, I said, it wasn't until probably 2016 when I started working with Marty at CareCuts. I just wanted to do their security, park my police car and walk around. I didn't want to handle homeless people. God had a different idea. He told me, you're going to get involved. And I didn't want to do it. And then I got in, and Marty made me the director of operations. And after a couple of years, God wanted me to go across the city and serve people that don't have resources. And I figured out, I'm probably just lukewarm. And I did not want to be spit out of his mouth. I wanted to be close to God. And God said, you have to live for me if you're going to do this. You can't be half in. So I jumped in full speed, and I had always been in church, but I rededicated my life, got rebaptized just to show I'm 100% in. So probably about 2018, and then the last few years, God has really tightened my game up, bringing me closer to Him.
How did the volunteers that you mentioned, how did that come about?
Well, just by serving, I met them. They were servants on the street also. And we became friends. And when I went out and started my road ministry, God sent them because He said, this is where we're needed. There is a lot of resources downtown. CareCuts, CARM, VMC, Salvation Army, Holy Ghost, the Women of Charity, Fish. But there's nobody on Central Avenue and Clinton Highway and Merchants Road and Walker Springs. And, so God wanted us there, and my volunteers were led to do that, and they came with me.
Now, are these people that you knew, or did they just show up, or what?
Well, I knew them from serving with Marty at CareCuts. I knew them, quite a few of them there. But then when I was on the street, they came up and said, hey, what are you doing? And I told them, and they're like, we love this. Can we jump in? And they jumped in and joined us.
Okay, and when do you do this? It's every Friday, right?
Every single Friday. I get up very early. We start loading up at around 5-something. 6 o'clock, Andre and Greg meet me at the storage, and we start loading. And then Leslie and Jamie and everybody shows up, Noreen. We leave the storage unit at Pellissippi and North Shore by 8:30, and we hit our route and work our way across the city every Friday.
Wow, every Friday.
Every Friday. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas Day, it doesn't matter. 4th of July, we're there. They know we're coming. It can be ice on the ground. It can be 100 degrees. They know we're going to show up.
Mm-hmm. What can we do to help?
It's just we need support. Donations, whether it be monetary or physical items, canned goods, supplies. If you get in touch with me, I can give you an idea of what we need. But monetary donations, really, because when we're buying the things we're lacking, that's what we got to have.
Mm-hmm. And let's go back to the canned goods, because I think people need to know about that. Pop top canned goods.
So you don't have to have a can opener.
Right. And they could eat it right out of the can.
Right. It doesn't have to be cooked. Ravioli, SpaghettiOs, beefaroni, beanie weenies, Vienna sausages. We buy them by the case at Sam's, and we give everybody cans of stuff, and they can just pop that open at any time and have protein.
Wow. And I want to talk again about the hot bag.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the hot bag.
Yeah, they really count on that. When it's cold, and when your house is cold, you're miserable, but out on the street, when you're laying on the ground and you're wet, and you're miserable, that pack of hot hands in your socks or in your hands will save your life. It will keep you from getting frostbite, because we've had our people lose fingers and toes who did not go into a warming shelter because they had an animal and wouldn't leave it out. So,
And tell us about the Bomba socks.
oh yeah, Frank from my church, he has the Laundry of Love. He comes through for us. We give out the world's greatest sock, Bomba. It is their motto is, for every pair you buy, they give a pair to a ministry. And the Bomba sock is, once you wear it, it's the best sock there ever was. The way it's made, it's the best sock. So we give everybody wants a new pair of Bombas, a new pair of underwear, a fresh white tee, and a sweet bag.
And a sweet bag.
And it makes their life good.
Yeah, full of little Debbies.
So simple.
Yeah.
You know, we have everything. We don't think about it. But to them, fresh underwear, fresh socks, something sweet to eat, and a clean T-shirt, and they're like a new person.
Now, you're going to be doing something at Wallace Memorial, right?
Yeah, we always. I'm trying to get a location now. I want to rent a shower trailer. There's a company that rents them, and for about $350, they bring a shower trailer out, and you let everybody take a shower. And I want to set that up where they're not accessible. Marty at Carecuts, they have a shower trailer, but a lot of people can't make it down to her location. So we're wanting to set up over on Merchants, hoping to get set up where like Wallace Memorial or somewhere, and let all of our homeless come, take a hot shower, put on all new clothes, fresh shoes, and feel like they really matter, you know, because they don't have that feeling. They know nobody wants to look at them, and they're not welcome in restaurants, and stores don't want them in there. So we just want to give them back their dignity and let them see, hey, we love you. We don't care what you look like. We love you because God loved us first.
You know, I think we need to remind people when we talk about homeless, there's such a stereotype. But we need to remind people that Jesus came for the lost, the last, the least, and the left out.
That is it. And only by the grace of God are we not on the street. People don't realize there's a lot of families one bad air conditioning unit away from being homeless. And when people always want to talk about homeless and talk badly, I said, well, just tell me what Jesus' address was. What was his address?
Wow.
And you don't know it because he walked around everywhere and stayed with people. And so please don't have a bad idea about these people. They are like us. They've had maybe one bad misfortune or a bad decision change their life. Sometimes they didn't have a bad decision. It happened for them. And so we just love them. Don't judge them. And we'll see what God does next.
Okay, how do we get in touch with you if we want to help?
Okay, you can either call me or text me at 865-919-1510, or you can send me an email at a handupministry865@gmail, and that is AHANDUPMINISTRY865@gmail.com. Or if you're on Facebook, look at CJ Jackson. That's me, and you'll see tons of pictures. You'll get to see your donations. Anything that you're thinking about donating, don't give it to me till you see if we're the real deal. Come out, test drive us. Go with us one Friday. See how blessed these people are, how appreciative, and see that everything we take in goes away. We do not sell it. We don't get paid. We just hand it out.
Wow. And everything is donated.
Everything.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. You've been listening to Charlie Jackson, Hand Up Christian Homeless Ministry. I'm going to say that again. Charlie Jackson, Hand Up Christian Homeless Ministry. You can go to their Facebook page. They're a 501c3. You can call Charlie at 865-919-1510. Or you can email him at handupministry865@gmail.com. Hey, you're sitting there saying to yourself, how can I help? How can I make a difference? Here is an opportunity to help the last, the lost, the least, and the left out. If Jesus was here, he'd be on the street with Charlie. This is Dr. Pat Paulus. You've been listening to Monday's Ministry Corner on Joy Radio, WRJZ, helping you grow in the faith.
Thank you for listening to Monday's Ministry Corner. For more information about today's ministry or to learn how your ministry can be featured on an upcoming show, reach out to us at Joy Radio or contact Dr. Paulus directly at pat@crcknox.com. That's pat@crcknox.com.